Welcome to Nutritional Medicine by Lab Analysis. I'm Dr. Cyrus Thomas. We've got a great show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about the perfect health diet by a fellow named Paul Jaminet. He was an astrophysicist and he started getting sick. So did his wife. They came together and they decided to figure out what was going on. And strangely enough, two people, she's in medicine, she's a cellular biologist, I believe, but he's not, and still they did a fantastic book about health and nutrition. If you ever saw the movie Lorenzo's Oil, it's about two parents who decide to figure out chemically what to do for their son who was ill, and they ignored all the doctors and went ahead and did it on their own. So it can be done by lay people. We might ask who should watch this program. And this show is for people who suspect that maybe the answer lies in nutraceuticals. We would say that, and it's also for people who want to not feel stuck with feeling toxic, and who want to avoid surgeries. And they suspect that nutrition doesn't just mean shopping in a health food store, that at its deeper level, when utilized as a medical science, has much to offer them. This program will show you a safe way to take nutrients to cure chronic ailments. You know, a lot of people think that when they go to the health food store and they're going to get healthy, all of a sudden they're going to eat vegetables. And they've got this thing, because of a large industry and a lot of people making money, that they shouldn't be having any meats or dairy. We're going to find out tonight that that's not quite the case. This is a safe way based on blood tests, and the doctors has a way to follow up to know the effectiveness of the nutritional medicines by retesting blood tests in urine and comparing the new results to the previous results. So we'll know the effectiveness of what was done. Perfect health diet. Jaminet was the fellow who did this. This is a video of me in my office. It's kind of fun to watch. And I'll set that going while I talk to you. There we go. We've got a volume on this laptop. If we could take the volume off of that, that would be good. Okay, so we'll switch to the next one because I can't seem to control that. This diet is essentially the Pacific Island diet. It's a ketogenic diet, meaning ketones are molecules that you make when you're burning your own fat. That's a good thing to do. That keeps you slim. Ketogenic diet. It's also called the paleo diet, but instead of that, we could call it the pre-agriculture diet or the pre-cereal grain diet. In other words, it's a diet from before 6,000 years ago when man was first came together and they started living in communities in the Euphrates and along the rivers in India. They had hunted out the area around them, and they couldn't get any more animal products to eat, so they had to start eating grains and legumes. This diet could also be called a high plant, low carb diet, and also it could be called the no toxic food diet, which is pretty interesting. The summary of the perfect health diet is that it is 35% meats and oils, 65% plants. So even though it's a high fat diet, the amount of plants is really quite high. The reason why the fats seem high is because fats give us over twice the number of calories per gram than proteins or carbohydrates. So if this diet is actually, when you look at just calories, it's 85% fat, 15% protein, and 20% carbohydrate. And the reason why we need carbohydrates is going to become clear quite soon. Do eat about 20% of your total calories from starchy tubers, as in rice, fruits, and berries. So this is a no cereal diet, but it's not a no cereal completely, because rice essentially is a cereal or a grain. That's the only exception. Fruits and berries have 400 calories of carb calories per day. That's about 2 cups of white rice or 2 cups of potato or 1 cup of white rice and 1 cup of potato. Eat as many vegetables as you like, but don't count any calories from vegetables, and be sure to include seaweed for iodine. In total, you might eat 1.5 pounds of plant food per day. So people think the paleo diet is an all-meat diet. It is not. Do not eat grains and cereals, including wheat, oats, and corn, but excluding rice. You can eat rice, or any products made from them, including bread and pasta. Do not eat sugar, corn syrup, or products containing them, such as soda and sweets. Do not eat legumes, such as soybeans, kidney beans, pinto beans, or peanuts. Reason why: they contain alpha amylase inhibitors and phytohemagglutinins called PHA. These can be given to many different lab animals, and we can see what it does to them quite quickly. Humans don't eat enough of them every day to ruin them quickly, but it does ruin them over a long period of time, and it does it slowly. Do not eat omega-6 rich vegetables, vegetable seed oils. Okay, that's all the oils that are being used now in all the fast food places, such as soybean oil, which is 75% of all the oil eaten in the US, corn oil, safflower oil, peanut oil, or canola oil, which was invented by man in 1977. These are not good oils to eat. Email me and I'll send you the details on the toxins in grains and legumes so that you can see the chemical list of what they are. Cyrusky, that's what the kids used to call me, at yahoo.com. CYROO, that's O's are not zeros, those are O's, SKI at yahoo.com. These do not eat foods, which we just went over, contain naturally toxic proteins, excessive fructose and omega-6 fats, and few nutrients. When you eat toxic-free foods, you are on a fast. You are fasting from all the toxins that there are in food. Also, another good thing to do, which I don't know if I have this in a future slide, so I'll tell you now, is to eat over an 8-hour period. That gives you 16 hours until you eat again. During that 16 hours, your intestine is able to process your food. Your liver is able to process many of the chemicals that came from that food, and everything is at rest and ready to receive food again. So actually, essentially, you're fasting daily. According to Jim Annett, who wrote the book, all grains and legumes have substances that encourage poor digestion of all other foods in the gut to promote inflammation and the production of a greater quantity of stool in your body, thereby spreading the seeds. So think about it. Evolutionarily, these grass seeds developed to know that the seeds that had the chemicals that would inflame the intestines of whoever ate them and make it so that they couldn't digest other foods that they were eating would result in larger stool. Those larger stools would be meant that the animal defecated more frequently, and those seeds were deposited more readily than seeds that did not cause inflammation. So that seed gained preponderance, and that's how survival of the fittest works, even for seeds. Most plants all plants, seeds included, have developed toxins in them so that insects and other animals would not eat them. Animals do not develop toxins in their body so that other animals will not eat them. So it is safe to have meats and it is safe to have dairy products for that reason. We have to be very careful of the kind of plants that we eat. The vegetables that are okay to eat, we have developed them over time for them to be safe, although we haven't done that with legumes and we haven't done that with grains, mostly because it's only fairly recently that we've discovered what the toxins are in those foods. So here they are. Prolamines are a group of plant storage glycoproteins having a high proline content and found in the seeds of cereal grains. It's called gliadin for wheat, hordein for barley, secalin for rye, zein for corn, cafferin for sorghum, and avenin is in oats. Buckwheat contains no gluten and can consequently be eaten by people with celiac disease or gluten allergies. Rice also contains no gluten. Wheat germ agglutinin, or WGA, is a lectin that protects wheat, this type of wheat, the most common type, from insects, yeast, and bacteria so that those things won't eat the wheat. WGA is found abundantly but not exclusively in the wheat kernel. Jaminet adds, it damages the intestines and interferes with vitamin D action. It sabotages the immune system and it promotes chronic infections. Gluten is toxic to intestinal cells. 83% of the adult population develops observable gut inflammation after eating gluten. It's not just a Marin fad to think this way. This is anybody that is tested. 30% make anti-wheat gluten antibodies in the intestines, and 11% make it in the systemic circulation. 11% of that makes it to the systemic circulation. That means it's in the blood that's throughout the body. Only 4% of people are celiac. That is where, that is a specific type of sensitivity. It's where they are extremely sensitive. But the rest of us are almost all sensitive as well. And pasteurized milk should be avoided, but do eat fermented or fatty dairy foods like butter or cream or ice cream, good ice cream, the good stuff from the health food store. Sour cream, cheese, and yogurt are okay. Pasteurization